Welcome to Machine Solutions, where we explore the incredible journey of wood from the deep forests to the modern factories. Let's discover how raw timber becomes valuable resources. Deep in the forest, the day begins early. Sunlight filters through the tall canopies, and the low hum of chainsaws breaks the morning silence. Here, skilled loggers are preparing to fell an ancient tree, a massive old stump that has stood for decades. These men know the forest like the back of their hands. Every move is calculated, every cut deliberate.
Yes, ini mau penambangan kayu besar nih. Kayunya terlalu besar. Kayu.
Before any sawing begins, they inspect the tree carefully, its lean, its roots, and the direction it must fall. Safety is everything. Then, the chainsaws roar to life, echoing through the woods.
Wah, berapa besar nih, guys? Ini kayu. Banyak tinggi panjang. Besar betul-betul. Ini.
Thick sawdust sprays into the air as the first deep cuts are made. The operator moves methodically, guiding the blade through the dense wood, adjusting the angle with precision. It's a test of both strength and control. Too much pressure, and the saw may jam. Too little, and progress slows to a crawl.
One, two, three, go. Wah. Wah. Ito naman yan.
Gradually, the chainsaw carves through the heartwood, revealing the beautiful grain hidden within. This is not just cutting, it's craftsmanship. Every veteran logger knows how the wood will react, where it will crack, how it will shift. As the felling cut is completed, the old tree starts to lean. With a loud crack and a deep rumble, it begins to fall, centuries of growth meeting a moment of man-made precision. Dust and leaves swirl as the ground trembles. The team watches closely, ensuring the fall is controlled and safe. Once the tree is down, they move in to trim off branches and prepare the main trunk. Chainsaws slice through limbs, leaving behind clean, manageable sections. The large stump that remains is equally important. It shows the tree's history rings that tell stories of seasons, storms, and survival.
Kapit awas. Tak boleh naik. Oh. Kayu bersawah guys. Unit guys. Dek, potong atas dulu nanti baru pusing sini kan? Apa? Tenang. Nanti udah potong atas sini nanti aku goreng ke sini. Iyalah, mau potong sini, potong sini. Ini kameramen dari Jawa Timur, dari Lumajang. Ini nih, ini.
Cutting such old timber is challenging. The wood can be dense, fibrous, and unpredictable, but with sharp chains and steady hands, the men work efficiently, separating usable wood from waste. Each log is marked and measured, ready to be hauled out for the next stage of processing. What we witness here is the start of a long journey. From this moment, every log will move step by step toward becoming beams, boards, and furniture, the foundation of homes and industries around the world. Once the trees are felled, the real challenge begins, extracting those enormous logs from the dense forest. The terrain is rough, muddy, and unpredictable, but these workers know how to handle it. First, the trunks are cut into sections, manageable lengths that can be pulled or lifted. Using large chainsaws and sometimes portable saws, they divide the logs into precise portions, depending on their intended use. This not only makes them easier to transport, but also protects the wood from splitting or cracking during movement. Next comes the heavy equipment. Large mechanical winches and tractors are brought in to haul the timber. Some logs weigh several tons, too massive for any man to move by hand. Steel cables are wrapped around the trunks, and slowly, with powerful traction, the logs begin to move. The process is slow and intense. Every meter gained is the result of teamwork and skill. The operators must carefully judge the pull to avoid breaking the cable or damaging the log. Mud flies, engines roar, and the air smells of diesel and sawdust. This is logging in its purest, most demanding form. In difficult terrain, steep hills or swampy ground, the crew uses special techniques. They create makeshift paths with smaller logs or chains to help guide the big ones out. Sometimes, two machines work together, one pulling and one stabilizing. It's a display of mechanical power balanced with human experience.
Tahan guys. Udah sa, masuk dari kayu.
Bit by bit, the massive logs emerge from the forest, dragged to open ground where loaders and trucks are waiting. Each piece represents hours of effort, teamwork, and precision. When the final section reaches the loading area, the crew takes a moment to rest, their faces marked with sweat and pride. This stage marks the bridge between nature and industry. The raw strength of the forest is now harnessed, shaped, and ready for the next part of its journey: transport.
Fase kedua. Oke.
Now comes one of the most impressive scenes in the entire process: loading the giant logs onto the trucks. Each piece is massive, some wider than a person's height and weighs several tons.
Kaki dia begitu, macam mana lah. Tinggal begitu. Ya begitu lah. Pengen dia kayak gitu.
To lift them, operators use heavy-duty machines, hydraulic loaders equipped with giant steel claws. With precision movements, they grip the logs, lift them high, and carefully position them on the truck bed. Every movement requires skill. The logs must be balanced to prevent tipping or damage during transport.
Besar lah itu kecil. Apalah baling-baling aja lah.
On the ground, workers secure the load with thick steel chains and straps. They check alignment, spacing, and stability before signaling the driver. The teamwork here is crucial. One wrong move could lead to danger. When the truck is fully loaded, it stands as a symbol of raw power and human ingenuity. Dozens of tons of wood are now ready to roll toward the sawmill, where they'll be transformed into materials that build the world around us. The journey continues along rugged forest roads and steep mountain passes. These log trucks are built for endurance, old but reliable machines with engines that never quit.
jatuh kayu.
Driving them requires exceptional skill. The driver must navigate tight corners, soft ground, and uneven slopes, all while carrying an enormous load.
37, cing Leo. Tapi Leo, cing.
Every turn of the wheel demands precision and patience. On narrow roads, the driver often shifts gears manually, listening to the engine's rhythm to find the perfect balance between power and control. The slightest mistake could cause the load to shift or the truck to slide. But these drivers are seasoned veterans, men who have spent years mastering their routes. As the trucks finally reach the open road, the view changes from forest green to the signs of civilization, mills, factories, and timber yards. Each log that began deep in the forest is now on its final leg toward transformation. This stage closes the loop from the wilderness to the heart of industry, proving once again how human skill and machine strength work together to shape our modern world. And that brings us to the end of another incredible journey, from the deep forest to the factory gates. Every log tells a story of hard work, craftsmanship, and dedication. If you enjoyed watching the machines and the men behind them, don't forget to subscribe to Machine Solutions for more amazing content about wood, machinery, and the people who make it all happen.